All right, so welcome everyone. Today we're going deep, really deep, into something that might just change how you think about your job, your career, maybe even your whole life.
Sounds intense. I'm ready, though. Lay it on me.
We're diving into this piece called The Future of Work in AI, a humanistic perspective.
Okay, I'm intrigued already.
And, right off the bat, it hits you with this question that just stuck with me. If money weren't an issue, what would you do every day?
Whoa. Yeah, that's a big one. It really makes you think, huh, like what's it all about, really?
Exactly. And that's what I love about this piece. It's tackling this future where AI, artificial intelligence, could totally change how we work, but it's doing it with this focus on what makes us human.
It's not all doom and gloom, robots taking over the world.
Not at all. It actually highlights some really, really exciting possibilities. Like, it predicts that AI is going to keep automating more and more jobs. The author even uses some pretty strong language to describe it. Things like the trajectory is rising and no signs of it stopping.
Okay, so yeah, no sugarcoating there. AI is coming for our jobs. But, I mean, every technological revolution kind of does that, right? Like, think about the Industrial Revolution.
Right. So the question is, what happens to us humans in this, like, rapidly changing landscape?
Yeah, where do we fit in when the robots are doing everything? Well, the source kind of sees two main paths emerging, two ways this could go. High-tech jobs on one hand, and then what they call humanistic jobs.
Okay, so two very different paths. Tell me more about these high-tech jobs. What do those look like?
Basically, it's all about riding that wave of AI advancements.
Yeah.
Think of like the engineers who are designing those robots, the data scientists who are developing all those crazy algorithms, or even the cybersecurity experts who are making sure all these systems are safe.
Right, right. So very specialized, very technical. I guess you'd need a pretty strong STEM background for those.
For sure. These roles need deep understanding of AI, the cutting edge.
Got it. Okay, and what about the other path? Those, what were they called? Humanistic jobs?
Yeah, humanistic jobs. Those are interesting because what's really valuable there are the things that AI is actually not so good at. Empathy, emotional intelligence, creativity, thinking outside the box, problem solving, building relationships, really connecting with people, that kind of stuff.
So basically, the stuff that makes us human.
Mhm.
But, like, can you give me some concrete examples? I'm gonna have a little trouble picturing what those jobs might look like in, this AI-powered future.
Sure. So imagine therapists, right?
Yeah.
Helping people deal with all the complicated emotions and stuff that life throws at us. Or artists expressing themselves in ways that a computer just can't. Or think about educators guiding and inspiring the next generation. Or even entrepreneurs, people starting businesses, but with that human touch, solving real problems that people
I
face.
see, I see. So it's all about understanding human needs, connecting with people on that deeper level, right?
Exactly.
And this actually reminds me of something the author wrote about finding fulfillment and helping others.
Hmm.
They said, AI does not understand emotional gratification like we humans do.
Oh, yeah. That's a powerful line. I underlined that one.
It really got me thinking.
Mhm.
It actually reminded me this one time I was volunteering at a soup kitchen.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that.
So I was serving food to this gentleman, and you could tell he'd been through a lot. At first, he didn't really want to make eye contact,
Hmm.
you know. But then, as we were talking, this smile slowly started to spread across his face.
I love those
Me
moments.
too. And he started telling me about his life,
Mm.
and I just listened. And when he was leaving, he shook my hand and he said, "Thank you for seeing me."
Wow.
And it wasn't about the food. It was about that connection, about feeling seen and heard, something AI just can't replicate.
You're so right. And that's a perfect example of what the author was talking about, that emotional gratification. It's huge. It's really at the heart of what makes us human.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, the author brought up this really fascinating idea. They call it the ultimate humanity trial.
Okay, the ultimate humanity trial, huh? I like that. What's that all about?
So it's basically this thought experiment, this idea of a world where money is no longer an issue.
Yeah.
Like, what if AI has automated so much that everyone's basic needs are met?
Yeah. I mean, that would require some massive changes, right? Like how we distribute resources, what we even consider work. It's almost like redefining our whole society.
Exactly. And, the source doesn't really offer any concrete solutions. It's more like throwing out this challenge, this question. If we don't have to work for money, how do we define success? How do we find fulfillment?
It's like, what would we do with all that free time? What would we strive for if it wasn't a bigger house or a fancier car?
Right. It's almost like AI is forcing us to rediscover what truly matters. And I wonder, it might also make us face some uncomfortable truths about how things are now. Like, what about people who can't easily transition to these new jobs, these high-tech or humanistic jobs? Could this future actually be unfair?
Those are such important questions. And to be fair, the author does acknowledge that there are potential downsides too.
Mm.
It's not all going to be sunshine and roses. It's not just about blindly accepting AI. It's about having these tough conversations, thinking about the challenges, and trying to anticipate them.
It's about using AI wisely, right, to create a future that works for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure it benefits all of humanity.
This whole conversation actually makes me think of this quote by Robert Lynn that the author included. It says, "In order to see birds, it is necessary to become a part of the silence."
I like that.
And, in a world that's just getting faster and more complicated, with all this technology, how do we even find that silence, that space to understand ourselves and what we truly value?
It's a good question. I think it takes effort, intentionality. We have to actively create that space for reflection, for quiet amidst all the noise. It might be meditation, spending time in nature, maybe keeping a journal, or even just having those deep conversations with people who challenge us to think differently.
I think that's so important. And in the context of this AI revolution, that quote, it's like a reminder, right? That the most important answers might not be found in some algorithm, but in quieting our minds and really listening to ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's try to pull this all together. AI is changing the game, no doubt about it, and it's only getting faster. We've got these two paths emerging, going high-tech or leaning into human connection. But the really big question is, how will this all change our values? What does it even mean to live a good life, a fulfilling life, when AI is doing so much of the work?
It's almost like we're being handed this blank slate, and it's up to us to decide what we want to write on it. What will work even look like? What about purpose? Success? I don't know. It's exciting and kind of scary at the same time.
I completely agree. It's a future full of uncertainty, but also a future with incredible potential. What will we dedicate ourselves to if we don't have to work just to survive? What will be the new measures of success and fulfillment? It's a question we're thinking about.
Definitely. It's a conversation that needs to happen.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And yeah, keep thinking about these questions because they're not going away anytime soon.
And who knows, maybe we'll have some answers or at least more questions by the time we do our next deep dive.
Sounds good to me. See you all next time.
See you later.